it. I remember when we were shooting the mall scene where Billy dies in season 3. There's like 1,200 people on set. It's crazy. Like, there's usually, just for people out there, there's usually 70, 80, 90, maybe 100 crew. There's 1,200 crew on set. The size of it is insane.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
Dacre, how's it going?
Good. Nice to chat to you. I'm
Yeah.
really pumped to talk about this.
Oh yeah, for sure. Jack and Jill. Like I'm watching the movie, and then the name Jack and Jill didn't connect to watching it with the
Yes.
went up the hill, and so there's
Yes.
a part where like, oh my god, like I don't know what
It's
was it
a
like
subtle-
for you. Yeah.
It's a subtle metaphor. I was just going to say it's funny because in reading the script you have the direct comparison, but in the movie you kind of have to listen out for people's names and then put the title together, and it's a whole lot of things. So yeah.
Yeah. And this movie, your performance in this, it's for me watching it, I was like, whoo, it's nuts, it's crazy. You get to act as two different people, and because the story is, you're an estranged son just coming back, your mom passed away. And so ghosts. So what was that like for you reading this and just diving deep into this heavy story?
I mean, look, I loved it. I was like, as any actor would be, like you kind of want to figure out your own stuff and use a film as a bit of therapy in a weird way. So I was like, for me, it's an incredible opportunity as an actor, but I think as an individual and as a human being, it was a really cool opportunity for me to explore some of my own grief and trauma. But again, I'd never heard of a three-hander told by two people, right? So two actors playing the same third character together, and I was like, this is unbelievable. I've never heard of a ghost story like this. I have to do this. And then the director's vision of the film, as you've seen, cinematography, the production design, everything is so beautiful and so well fleshed out. And I was like, I think this director is going to be the next great Australian auteur director. So I was like, I really want to be a part of this process. And the process of making the film was totally life-changing and really intense, but in the best ways, the best outcome. Now it's so exciting to prospect of it finally coming out in cinemas next week is awesome, because all you do is you want people to see it, right?
Yeah, for sure. And there's it gets dark, and I was wondering for you, if as an actor, if there's like a limit to like, oh man, how far do I want to go with this material?
I just wanted to go all the way. I totally lost sense of time and myself, and I stopped sleeping, and I just stopped eating. I was in a really bad mental health space, to be honest. But for me, it's what I wanted to do. And I've largely taken the last sort of 6 years off, and this is exactly kind of the role that I wanted. This is the role I wanted, not just for me, but for me as an actor, to push myself. We shot in the middle of nowhere on a sheep station in that house, kind of going insane, and it was what I was chasing. I'm a very intense human being. It's what I was chasing in terms of my process and my craft as an actor, and it was everything and more that I'd hoped it to be. And I think the movie is reflective of that. It's really intense, and the movie's not for everyone. It's divisive. It's not going to be for everyone, but those who connect with it, I think it's a deeply spiritual and moving experience that's not even necessarily supernatural. I think it's like more about, we create, our abusers are in us, and we kind of create them to deal with our own trauma and our own baggage from our lives. And that's definitely how I and my co-star Vicky perceived the movie.
Oh yeah,
And
there's a
creating
lot
those
of
characters.
trauma. Yeah. And for me, like just watching, I get to know for you as an actor, just the story of letting go. So I was wondering if there's ever been a moment in your career where it was like, oh, this is kind of hard to let go, but I have to because I want to do the right thing for me.
Well, I think even Stranger Things coming out, and like I was, part of the process of negotiating the amount of seasons. They wanted me to do all seasons, and I was kind of like, I want to do 2 seasons and have a really, really hectic character arc or journey, right? And they gave me that. It was great. And I left, and then when I left, I was like, I'm gonna go and wait until I can find this script that I'm really passionate about. Of course, it was hard to let Stranger Things go and all that sort of stuff, but I was chasing this itch that I wanted to scratch. And it took a long time, and it was hard to let go of all that stuff. And COVID happened. And then I was like, geez, I've taken a bit of time off, and that's turned into 3, 4, 5, 6 years. But every letting go of something in life, anyone, doesn't have to be in the film industry or me or whatever, is evolution. It's letting go is really hard, but a lot of good stuff comes from letting go of one thing and inviting another thing in. And that's what this movie is about. This movie is about letting go of things that, or people that may have traumatized you, that you also love, that you're in this weird constricting kind of relationship with. But ultimately, this movie's so intense. But at the end, there is a release because both of the characters, spoiler, let go. They let go of their abuser. They let go of this person holding over them. And I feel like for me, my evolution as a creative is all about what this thumb is doing. Is all about letting go. Like it's all about letting go of things and inviting in the new thing and seeing how you can grow.
Yeah. No, it's a great message for this. But also, since I'm in Nerd Reactor, we like to cover
Yes.
popular projects. So we're gonna go back again. And
Yes.
for Stranger Things, a lot of creepy stuff. Cause this movie, a lot of creepy stuff too. So I was wondering for Stranger Things, if there's ever been the what's the craziest part, like the most intense part of being on that set?
Just the size of it, it's enormous. Like there's no other production like it. I remember when we were shooting the mall scene where Billy dies in season 3, there's like 1,200 people on set. It's crazy. Like, there's usually, just for people out there, there's usually 70, 80, 90, maybe 100 crew. There's 1,200 crew on set. The size of it is insane. The other thing about Stranger Things is like, it comes out and there's 300 million households watching it in like the first day because it's so relatable and people love it so much. And there was so many cool experiences where, we'd be on the set and there's just like 1,000 people and all kinds of people running around doing stuff, moving lights, moving cameras, explosions happening, green screens being put up behind things. Like it's a truly kind of Spielberg-esque kind of experience of like the original big movie productions like Indiana Jones or, George Lucas Star Wars or stuff like that. It's a truly massive pop culture machine, which is awesome to be a part of. And I had such a great experience with.
Oh yeah. And with doing this movie, I can and you're talking about it like that, scratching that itch, right? But is there a part of you
Yes.
that wants to go back to like the action stuff, like for example, Power Rangers?
Hmm. I think the only type of action stuff that I would want to go and do is to something like John Wick. Like I just think it's my favorite, probably my favorite franchise of all time. I think it's so cool. I think it's so inventive. I think Chad and Keanu are just like so intensely focused on making each movie bigger than the next. It's the only franchise that I've seen that kind of goes like this in terms of getting better and bigger and all this. And John Wick 4 just blew my mind. So I'd love to do a really, really cool action film like that that's hyper stylized. And I do a ton of like different martial arts and like CrossFit and gymnastics and all kinds of stuff like that. So it'd be cool for me to get back training for a role again. Like that's another reason I would love to do it, is like get back to physical training for a action film. But I want to wait for something that's kind of cool and stylized and changes the mold of like action movies, a bit like John Wick did first.
Oh yeah, that. And I don't know if you've seen The Raid.
Yeah, I love The
Yeah,
Raid.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
unbelievable. Yeah, like these are the movies. These are kind of action movies I adore, right? Like that I really like. I love action movies. I love watching action movies. But yeah, that I'd kind of want to wait for some cool, kind of interesting concept and director that's kind of breaking the mold a bit in the action film space.
Oh yeah. I guess for my last question, I want to ask you, going back to this movie, the set, the scenery, just like New Zealand, right? And so, what was that like for you? Just wow, we get to film here, and this place gets to be showcased, and all that.
That's awesome. Well, we're shooting right around the corner from where they shot Lord of the Rings, so that was awesome. I grew up
Yeah.
watching Lord of the Rings. I was in at the cinema every time one came out on November 28th or whatever. It came out every year on the same day. I was a huge fan of that franchise. So being there, being in a little house in the mountains with that epic backdrop of the huge, like, and knowing that those movies were filmed there was amazing. I was like, the landscape is breathtaking, and it adds to the vibe of the movie. It adds to the energy of the film and what we were feeling. So as a fan of Lord of the Rings and you know, as my dad is from New Zealand originally, so as a part Kiwi, as they say, I was just nice to return to New Zealand and be a part of that.
Oh yeah. No, I definitely was thinking about Lord of the Rings too, but I'm glad you mentioned that. And,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, Dacre, it's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I can't wait for everyone else
Thanks,
to
John.
watch this, whatever feeling they have, you know. Yeah.
Totally. Thanks, John.
All right.
Thanks so much. Take care of yourself. Appreciate the chat.